Hello, all things Hadar. I am so happy to be here with you guys. I have missed you. um, I do want to thank, I do want to thank those of you who are returning. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are what make the channel, you know, and the hope is that this channel and the information that comes through will be things that are useful and helpful to our Hadarian collective, as well as anybody else who comes across the channel. As you guys know, well, before I start on that, I do also want to say thank you to those of you who are new and or have just now stopped by for the first time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so glad that you are here. You guys are all old, new, in between, debating, dipping your toe, doesn't matter. You are all very, very welcome here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. With all of that said, I do want to say, you know, for those of you who are new and maybe aren't familiar with how I read, I am an intuitive reader, but if you want more information on that, you can look in the description box below. And then I also just wanted to say quickly, for those of you who may be interested in sharing your awakening story, feel free to reach out to me. You can look in the description box below for the email address in which you can contact me. And yeah, so with that, and please understand, I'm learning all of this stuff, you know, so yeah, just give me a break as I stumble my way through this stuff. But I would like to invite people who are willing to share their awakening story. Obviously also not separately, but well, yes, can be separately. Oh, see, I need to watch how I say that. If you would like to share your awakening story, then feel free to email. If you would like to share any information you have around old Hadar, new Hadar, Hadar in between, anything Hadar, then again, you know, feel free to reach out to me. Okay? Now, I am going to... We're going to use, okay, I have these two decks now, and these are my newer decks. I wish I could, I'll have to look at them and put them in the description box. This is a goddess deck, and this is the African goddess deck. I'm not sure if they have more things in the name, but I will look for the boxes and put it in the description box below in case you are interested in the decks I use. So there we go. All right, we're just going to get started here really quick. I'm just going to right off the bat be looking at what are we going to use first? We're going to use these first. Okay, we're going to look at what will be good for us to let go of here at the end of the year. What will be good for us to let go of at the end of the year. This can be individual. This can be a collective thing. It just take it how it resonates. Leave the rest. That's way too many. Nope. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. It's still kind of too many, but whatever. We have choices, communication, and believe. All right, and then let's get from here. What would be good for us to be able to just let go of? That's, again, too many. How many are here? Okay. We have colors, vehicles and cars, and let's get one more so that we can keep this uniform. All right, let's get one more, please. One more, and this is about what we're letting go of. Thank you. That's more than one, but okay. Interesting that these came out together. We got sex and communication. Okay, so this is about stuff to let go of at the end of the year. Again, only take what resonates, leave the rest. We have transformation on the bottom of this deck and limitless on the bottom of this deck. Some pretty freaking awesome messages, I'm thinking. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to jar the stand that's on. All right, so let's take a quick look here before we move on. Interesting. Okay, so first off, we had believe. And I don't know if you can really see it, but there's like a woman who is, I guess to me, it looks like she's awakening. She's transforming. I feel like this is saying it's time to let go of those old beliefs that have kept you small, that have kept you tiny, that have kept you confined. Because she's looking like she's, you know, the phoenix, a butterfly, like she's opening up. She's transitioning and transforming into something more, something different. Leaving behind the beliefs that are just no longer serving, or that, you know, our beliefs tend to change as we change and as we grow. And when we don't want to let go of certain beliefs from whatever, for whatever reason, you know, like guilt or fear or whatever, then we hang on to these things that just aren't serving us. So I feel like this is, you know, is continue to believe in yourself, believe in your transformation, believe in your growth, believe in being the phoenix, and letting go of those beliefs that just are not serving you anymore. This all is, of course, a choice. And I think it's also about letting go of choices that you've made in 2022 that maybe just didn't pan out, or, you know, when you feel like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. It's not about staying in regret. Let go of the regret. Let go of whatever lower vibing energies, emotions, thoughts, beliefs, experiences, you know, process them. Yes. Acknowledge them. Yes. It's not about burying our head in the sand like an ostrich. It's not about ignoring things, but we don't need to dwell on them either. It's more of, okay, so I made this choice. Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have done it because it turned out this way or that way. But what did I learn from that? What did I walk away from that with? What do I now know that when it comes around again, that if I know not to make this choice because I didn't like the outcome, so now I can try this choice or this choice and see how that goes, okay? Interesting. So we have colors and numbers. And you're probably thinking like, well, what can I let go there? First thing it says, what feelings are you struggling to acknowledge? Again, feelings, beliefs, actions, what's not adding up in your life? What do you see in the world around you? And to me, that's like, yes, we can get caught up with what's going on out here, but it's what is going on in here. What's going on in my inner world? How do I see the world around myself? And that is my world within, as well as in my immediate environment. What feelings, what beliefs, what action patterns am I struggling to even just acknowledge, maybe that it's time to let these go, or that this is an issue, or that this isn't working for me, because it's going to force us to look at some things that maybe we don't want to look at, because it's going to open the possibilities to create change, transformation, which is limitless, but it is going to require us to let go of some things that just aren't serving us, that are just not in alignment anymore. We also have vehicles and cars, which I find interesting because, again, I just said of, you know, we can struggle to let go of stuff because we don't know, we don't like the unknown. Cars and vehicles. We have, do you know what direction you want to go in life? Do you feel in control of your life plans? Do you represent the car in the model of your dream? So I feel, and again, that even with this, the clock is being carried with the balloons. We have choices, transformation, limitlessness. I feel like there's a lot that can change. There's potential to travel maybe for some. There may be a potential to move to a new place. There may be a potential to purchase a new car. At the same time, I feel like it's also talking about kind of like just taking a few minutes, and it doesn't even have to be long and drawn out unless that's how you choose to do your process, and do your process what way works for you. But maybe it's about taking some time to get connected, get yourself grounded and connected, and then just go within and just ask yourself, hey, what would be really good for me to be able to let go of? What's not serving me anymore? And if you don't get an answer, don't panic. Just say, you know what? Most High, God, Source, Spirit, Universe, Great Spirit, whatever that is for you, I would like for you to bring to my conscious awareness, what is it that I could use to let go of to get myself better in alignment? What can I let go of that will help me to get into better alignment with myself? Bring these things to my conscious awareness, right? With ease, with truth and accuracy, yes, but with ease, so that and with the grace for me to be able to accept that I'm not perfect, and accept that, I'm going to screw up. I'm going to make mistakes, and it's all a learning process. And that's the way it is for all of us, right? I find the sex thing interesting because of what this is all talking about, because the questions on the sex is, do you feel disconnected to yourself and others? What do you need to feel more? What do you need to feel more loving? Do you feel your needs are not being met? Okay. Now, with the one where it talks about, do you feel like your needs are not being met? I do want to bring in the little thought for contemplation, if it resonates with you. I do feel it's important, though, to recognize and to, I guess, see how you feel about it. But the bottom line is, if our needs are not being met, first, it's about us meeting our own needs of what is for us to do, right? Often we look outward, expecting other people to make us feel happy, wanted, joyful, productive, successful, etc., etc. I would invite you to ask yourself, what needs am I needing that I'm not meeting for myself, right? Because to expect other people to do this for us is, one, putting a lot of responsibility on them that isn't theirs. It's not owning our own responsibilities, which are ours to own, which lead to this disconnected feeling. And I feel like there's maybe beliefs, actions, practices, emotions around this that is very much tied into, what the beliefs and actions and stuff that we're being invited to leave behind to get into more alignment with who we truly are and with our higher self. So that when we move into this new year that's upcoming, we can move into that, whether we're in the process of this or whatever, but we're working towards leaving behind what's no longer helping us, so we can be in this limitless transformation energy. Now, I purposely skipped over the communication because I wanted to bring to the attention that these are both about communication. There's a few different things I'm getting here. I'm getting opposites, okay? Don't get hung up on the genders, but I do see, man, woman, right? So we can have masculine and feminine energies. These can be two actual people, man and woman, or it could be two men or two women, but one has this energy, one has this energy happening. And this is about getting your communication going. For those of you who are in a relationship, I feel like it would be helpful to look into the opportunities of maybe having more communication, more open and honest communication with each other. I'm also getting from this that we have, she's got her third eye lit up. And I feel like this is talking about, in her crown. So I feel like this is like telepathic communication. This is otherworldly communication. This is your crown either possibly opening up or healing or expanding, as well as your third eye. Clearer vision. I feel like for some, this could be a communication coming in, maybe animal communicating, or totem animals or spirit animals coming in to help to support that. Being grounded. This is very earthy to me. To me, this, I realize that could be her hair braided, it could be feathers, but to me, it makes it in this moment is making me feel like it's ferns. So even though there is this cosmic energy with the space and the stars and all of that, I do feel like that it's also about finding that balance between being grounded and being up in the higher realms, dimensions, vibrations, and frequencies, and finding that balance. For some, this can also be about finding balance between the masculine and the feminine energies within. And again, see, this is really interesting. Again, we have the question, the questions here with this is, what are you having difficulty communicating? Do you feel emotionally disconnected? And what's not working smoothly in your life? And I find that interesting because here with sex, they're talking about being disconnected with yourself, and or others. And then here it's talking about being emotionally disconnected. Well, if we're emotionally disconnected with ourselves, then how can we be connected in a relationship with another person? Regardless, of the gender. It doesn't matter what the gender is. The point is it's about communication. It's about whether if you are disconnected with yourself, it's going to be really difficult for you to truly, truly be able to be connected with someone else in communication, in wavelength, in getting along, in having a quality relationship of any kind. It doesn't have to mean just our intimate relationships. It can be, from the most distant relationship to the most intimate relationship. For some of you, this can also be about communication happening from a long distance, because we do have what looks like the globe here, and we have a letter, and we have, a different continent. So for some, I feel like there could be the potential for a new relationship to come in. It may start out as a distance relationship, not distant, but distance. But I do feel that communication with yourself first and foremost, getting connected with yourself first and foremost, is going to be extremely important. It's part of your transformation. It's part of, and again, to me, this very much makes me think of the phoenix rising. And then she has the butterfly on her face here for the transformation, the total metamorphosis. And I feel like that truly is an opportunity here. Sorry, I had to get a drink. But again, there are, it's your choice. You do with it whatever you want to do with that. I do feel that there's things that will happen in divine timing, whether those are opportunities or whatever, but it's going to be your choice, your decision if you're going to move on those or not. But yes, there's a definite need for getting connected with the self, for open, honest communication within for yourself. If you're wanting to create a direction in your life, or if you're feeling that there are things that are out of control, then it's going to be time to do some connecting with yourself to figure out, what it is that you're wanting to have, to create, etc. Okay. What do the goddesses have to tell us? What do the goddesses have to tell us? Is there anything that they want to share? Okay. I love these cards. I just love these cards. Okay, yes. See, we have masks, mask, or masks, plural, masks. Okay. We have speak up. And we have brazen. All right. Interesting. Now, why do I say this is interesting? Well, we have speak up. So you have communication, communication, and speaking up. I'm also seeing here, interesting. Okay, so I'm going to point it out and then I'll hold it up so you can see. We have milk that is poured into the water. And obviously she has all of this bounty and abundance here in front of her. She is on her throne. I mean, she is just looking fabulous and beautiful and secure in who she is. She's not hiding anything about herself, right? And in the bushes here, when I hold it up, you'll see there's all these hands, you know, raised up in the bushes behind her. And I feel like it's saying, you know, yes, more power, speak up, which is very in keeping with the message here about communication. Do you see all those hands in there? And to me, that's like they're encouraging her. And I mean, look at her. She's just gorgeous. She's just there in all her beauty. No apologies. I'm going to be my authentic self. I'm going to speak up. I can do that with class. I can do that with compassion. I can do that with sincerity. And I can do it with communicating in a receptive manner, right? I mean, which, you know, we can communicate in a way where people want to hear it, or let me rephrase that. They might not want to hear it, but they're more apt to be open to hear what you're saying, not just listen, but to hear what you're saying, depending on how you communicate. If you can communicate in a diplomatic, tactful, respectful, you know, in a way that you would want to receive that, people are more willing to at least attempt to hear you. Whereas if we go in there guns blazing, well, blah, 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 you know, it's already been shut off. The communication has been stopped already. This is not to say that if you're around someone or you're with someone or this conversation is between yourself and someone who just really isn't interested in what you have to say as a norm, then it's really not going to matter how you communicate if they're not open to listening. You know, you can only do what is yours to do and leave the rest. The masks makes total sense to me. Excuse me, because if we're not communicating, then we're just wearing a mask, whatever that mask looks like. Right? I mean, you can look picture perfect. I mean, this woman looks picture perfect other than she's wearing a mask. And she has all of these other masks around her, right? It's that, you know, sometimes you'll hear someone say that, well, I'm such a chameleon, or that person is such a chameleon, you know, that depending on who they're with and who they're around as to which mask they take out. And to me, that's what this is saying. If you're going to not be communicating, then you're not in your authentic self. And you're also slowing down or hindering or preventing, you know, your limitless transformation, your phoenix rising, your choices even, I feel like get narrowed down, because if we're not going to allow our light to be out there and open, then how are the opportunities going to find us, right? We make our circle smaller, and then we only have this tiny little opening here, and then we don't understand why our life doesn't have quality. Okay. Next one we have here is brazen, and this one I find really interesting for a few different reasons. All right, so first let me just go through it all, and then I'll hold the card up. For one, she's got all this bounty, right? Just like this one, she has all of this bounty that she's carrying with her. To me, this is saying, you know, our bounty is within us. We find our bounty within us and we express it, and then it comes outward, and then that bounty comes back to us from that outwardness. There's all these waterfalls. Waterfalls to me are about emotions, but when they land here in this pool, and in this pool, they're very calm, right? Again, I feel that this is a lot about being your authentic self, and trust me, it takes practice to learn what that is, and it takes practice to learn how to be in that calm. I'm certainly not that way all the time. I certainly screw up all the time still. I am a spiritual being, but I am having a human experience. The other thing I find really interesting about this is, again, she's got this train up here, and it's a full train, and over here we have a train in the vehicles. And over here it's asking, do you know what direction you want to go in life? Not that you're headed or that you have to. It's that you want to go in life. And there is a key difference there. Do you feel like you're in control with your life plans? And if not, then, again, sit down and assess that. Why don't I feel in control? Let me look at my life areas. What is just one thing I can do to put one life area into a better feeling, a better position, a better direction. And I also see here she's got this sword down here, and now it's laying down, but to me it's there, and to me that is saying, you know what, she's brazen, but I don't think she's being brazen. She's being her true authentic self. And some people may look at that and call you, well, she's brazen. Well, that's not true. Just because it's not what they want or how they would be doesn't mean that it's truly brazen. I feel like this is about being your authentic self. And whether or not you're going to be authentic, it's a choice, right? It's a choice. Are you going to be your authentic self? Are you going to show and express yourself in an authentic way? Or are you going to choose to wear masks? And choosing to wear masks, I mean, be aware that when we choose to wear masks, and that means when we choose to not communicate, we are slowing down our transformation and our metamorphosis, our phoenix rising. And we are also putting a lot of limits, boundaries, and restrictions on something that could very well be limitless for us. It is all a choice. It is all a choice. Okay? Okay, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. It cut it off. So you'll probably notice a glitch or a split, and it's because I had to put two together. Okay. So are we all good on this, right? And now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to be asking, look at that. What didn't want to come up with awakening? And again, it's with the forehead and the third eye and the crown. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Hers is also the third eye and the crown. Yeah, that didn't want to come off the table. All right, now we're going to look at what are we being invited to bring in? What are we being invited to bring in, or an opportunity that is going to be coming our way for 2023? Let go and be still. All right. We have let go and be still. So be still was out first, which may sound counterproductive, right? Because you got, well, but you just got done telling me to let go of stuff. Yes, I did tell you, let go, let go. And I think that the let go card coming out is just saying, yeah, part of what to bring in is the process, I feel like, is what it's saying, of letting go. So getting into that habit, I guess, that habit, the process of, I process things, I let them come to my conscious awareness, I process them, and then I let them go. Whether that means I let them go, or I keep it because it's aligned for me, but it's something that becomes a part of my day. I let it go. I let it be free. I don't try to force it. But look at this. Let go of all that gunk that's just holding you back. It really is. You're being invited to let go, to be still. And I don't think that that's saying, well, you're going to spend the whole year of 2023 being still. I think that that's just saying maybe it's about setting a date with yourself. You know, have your sacred Sunday or your sacred Wednesday or your sacred morning or your sacred night, whatever that is for you. And even if it's 2 minutes or 5 minutes or an hour, whatever that is for you, or maybe it's going to be something different every time, who knows? But it's leaving the window open or the door open for you to have this opportunity where you know you're going to set time aside for yourself to check in with yourself. Whatever that process is for you is what it is for you. But just asking, what can I let go of today? What do I need to process today? What do I need to be aware of? What else do we have that we're bringing in for 2023? What else do we have? One more, please. What else do we have for 2023 that we're bringing in? That is way too many. Wow. Okay. I'm not going to take them all because it's too many, but we do have seedlings. So it is about planting your seeds, doing things differently, coming up with new plans, new ideas, and planting them, taking the action. Write them down. Look at each one of them. Prioritize which one you want to do first. And then, okay, now I've picked this one. What is the first step I can do for that? Right? It's kind of like just, again, it's a process. Chakras. Again, I talked about how we have so much here that is happening in the third eye and the crown area. Right? Chakras. Maybe some of you need chakra work. Maybe some of you do chakra work. And maybe it's about coming up with a new program or something that is about focusing on, let's do the third eye chakra. Let's do the crown. Let's really get grounded and anchoring our changes into the light, whatever that looks like for you. We have infinity now, which is interesting because remember we had limitless over here before. So now we have infinity, which is limitless. I find that beautiful and amazing. And then we have feathers. So again, spiritual support, spiritual guidance. You're not alone. You're getting messages. Okay. Okay, no, that's too many. But we will take this one because the second time it's come out, we've got awakening again. These are too many. But we do have intuition, surrender, integrity, and numbers. Colors and numbers. So colors and numbers may be speaking to a lot of you. Yes, most of us already know that, you know, certain numbers carry energies and messages and frequencies. But I feel like this is saying that for some that it is about paying attention about what numbers come to you throughout the 2023 year. With awakening, being still, letting go, and all of these other ones, we also have intuition. So again, awakening, intuition, you've got a lot of action happening with the third eye and the crown. Surrender to your process. Surrender to your process. This doesn't mean you just don't do anything, and it doesn't mean, you know, oh, life just happens to me, because no, that's not true. But it is about surrendering, letting go of those things that are just not serving you, and letting things come in and letting things play out, right? You can only do what is yours to do, and then let those things play out. Go with the flow, let them be. And if you have to constantly distract yourself to keep yourself from thinking about it, which I don't know about you, but there's a lot of things that I have to do that with, then, you know, do what you need to do for you that's going to help you to support yourself. And we have integrity. Integrity with yourself, integrity with others is extremely, extremely important in 2023. I don't know, maybe that for some there may be something tempting you to step out of integrity, whether that is you violating your own boundaries or letting others violate your boundaries, or you violating someone else's boundaries. Standing in spiritual integrity is going to be extremely important in 2023. And we have the eagle over him. So I would say maybe check out eagle energy. All right. We have anything coming through with this deck? about what we want to bring in for 2023 or be aware of. Oh, interesting. Isn't this interesting? So this is the goddess, and we're using 2 goddess decks put together. Embrace the feminine, create and be gentle, nurturing yet strong. Masculine, feminine, balancing, finding your feminine self, healing your feminine self. Do not listen to those who want to keep you small. Again, see what I had said, how you just make yourself smaller, 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 smaller. Believe that you are as important as the stars in the heavens, the goddesses. Love that. Love that. So that is a message for you for 2023. All right. What do the goddesses have to tell us for bringing in for the 2023 year? What do the goddesses have for us to bring in for the 2023 year? We have salvation. Beautiful. Salvation. And again, look at the elaborateness of her headdress. Just beautiful. She's got a golden lotus leaf. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Revelation. Revelation. And to me, this revelation card makes me think of, so this in her hand here is like a little dragon that is up here in the cloud. And I'll show you in a minute. And it's like lightning coming down into her hand. So dragon energy may be as a spirit animal or a totem animal. You may want to look that up and see if there's anything there that resonates with you about that. But this particular card with revelation, to me, it's almost like whatever this revelation is, it ignites her manifestation. Whatever it is she's trying to manifest, I feel like it like sets that on fire. It awakens it, it ignites it and gets it ready. All right. And then we have worthiness. A worthiness. So look at the richness in the purples in those colors. The purples, the oranges, the pinks. You may want to look up those colors and see what energies they hold. I mean, yes, a lot of people automatically say orange. Well, that's sacral. Pink, that's the heart. Purple, you know, it's the higher up. I don't remember which one. But they can also mean more than just the chakra system, although we did get the chakra cards. So, you know, you may want to look at the chakras, but I would say don't limit it to just that if you feel so prompted to utilize that further and to go with, you know, what are the energies of the colors beyond just as a chakra. I hope that made sense. All right. What is the archetype that we want to step out of or let go of here at the end of 2022? What is the archetype that we want to let go of or step out of for 2022? All right. What archetype do we want to let go of or step out of for 2022? All right. I'll read that in a second. And what archetype do we want to bring in for 2023? What archetype do we want to bring in for 2023? Okay, hold on. Okay, so they're saying that we still need another one for the letting go here at the end of 2022. So what is the other archetype that we want to let go of for 2022? What is the other archetype we want to let go of for 2022? Thank you. All right. So these are ones that we want to let go of for the end of 2022. We have the shapeshifter. When it's in the shadow attribute, this is projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. And remember, we had the masks card. Masks, right? So this is when we, and I said she has multiple masks there, and this was so that she could wear a mask according to whatever situation or who she was around. And it's time to let that fall away, right? Because then we're not being in our own true authentic energy. The femme fatale, when it's in the shadow, it's inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and or power, which, again, there's a difference between normal usefulness of possessions and material items, right? And then where we're just like obsessed that we have to have the best and the highest and the newest, and we want to be the Joneses and all of that. There's a very, very big difference in those energies, right? So, and there, if you're using your feminine energies to be attached to, not to be attached, but I don't know how to say it, but using your feminine wiles, shall we say, to build your, or I should say to feed a attachment to money and power and possessions. It's very different than, right, I work hard and, yes, I'm not going to apologize if I have a nice house and a nice car and wonderful furnishings and a pool and a this and a that. That's not what I'm talking about. It's when it becomes to the point that there's an attachment to it, an obsession about it, and where you're not in your integrity. Because remember, we want to be in our integrity for things. And then we have the king, and this is excessive feelings of entitlement, which we see where, again, now the money and power and possessions and things, excessive feelings to entitlement, rulership without restraint. But for the majority, there's a feeling of entitlement. And that doesn't mean that we have to, this can be true for people who feel they have nothing, right? And they can have a lot of bitterness and a resentment. And there's a difference between what is just and what is right that should be mine and should be coming towards me, and I don't like to use should, but you know what I mean. Like for those of you who are in a court case or have been in a court case, and it would appear that justice was not played out in a fair way. That's very different than what we're talking about here. I hope that makes sense. All right. What are we wanting to bring in for 2023? What are we wanting to bring in for 2023? What archetypes would do really well for us to bring in for 2023? What archetypes to bring in for 2023? The Lover and the Fool. Well, the Fool in tarot is all about that leap of faith, a brand new beginning with your innocence. You're not taking all the baggage from the past. Okay, it's a lightness. There's a lightness about you're going into this new beginning versus being burdened and heavily burdened and laden. Is that the word? Laden, but weighted down with stuff. And then we have the Lover. So we have light attribute. This is great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. So again, it doesn't have to be about a lover, a person. We do have the couple that was here, and then we have the man and woman that were here around communication. So, for some, it could be around love. It could be around an intimate relationship. But it doesn't have to be intimate, okay? For the Fool, we have the light attribute is fearlessly revealing emotions. See, again, there's that authenticity, taking off the masks, being your brazen, authentic, speak up, live out loud kind of person. Helping people to laugh at just to laugh at life, and to learn when things don't go our way. It's not about laughing at the situation. It's not about, as they say, thumbing your nose at it or anything like that. But it's also learning that humor can have a very healing quality to it. And humor can also help us get to a place where we can more easily be in a mental space and in an emotional space, even in a physical space, because laughter has been shown to be very powerful. But it can help lighten us up, which helps us to be in a space where we're better able to deal with whatever it is we need to deal with, right? It kind of lightens our heart for a moment, so that then we can, okay, now let me come back and look at this now. I'm in a little bit better of a frame of mind and emotion. Okay. All right, what's another way to really help support ourselves in this process of years, changing from 22 to 23? Oops. All right. So this is the only one that kind of came out, not fully in reverse, but kind of in reverse. And it's called Valor, and it says, be courageous. And the unmistakable touch of grace will follow us wherever we go. So I feel like, again, where I said something about making your, making yourself small, this being disconnected with yourself, sometimes it does take a great deal of courageousness, bravery for us to be willing to take a look at ourselves, to meet ourselves, to get to know ourselves in a whole new different way. And sometimes that's scary. Trust. The more we follow our intuition, and we had another card in here about intuition, follow our intuition, the more we'll find that the right doors open to assist us in fulfilling our life's purpose. And I find it interesting that a door comes out, or a card comes out that talks about the doors, because I just had thought, oh, I need to get my Divine Doors deck. So we'll get to that. All right. So trust. Now, I believe this one is called a conch, the type of shell, but you may want to look up that energy of the seashell, the conch, C-O-N-C-H, I think it is, or yeah, you may want to play with that, but it's the big one that they, you know, what is the energies of that specific kind of shell? Yeah. And then we have surprise. Keep an open mind. The influence of grace is often found in unexpected places. And interesting to me, I feel like here we've got angelic support. Here the man has an angel that is with him. You know, I feel like it's saying, you know, don't forget, you're not alone. You're not alone. We may feel like that a lot of times, or we may believe that a lot of times, but we're not alone. I was also going to say, guys, if there is a specific topic you would like to have talked about in here, if there is a specific struggle that you're having in here, and you feel like there are some things that we could do to work on releasing things or bringing things in, again, you can email or you can comment in the video here, and I'll tune into that and see what comes through. All right. What else do we have that? Okay. This was, oh my gosh. I encourage conversations, communication. I encourage conversations that connect me with people in an intimate and meaningful way. This includes with the self. But look at that. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Communication is going to be really important in 2023. I mean, it's always important, but communication with yourself first, because I feel like that disconnection cards we had, I feel like those are really pointing out that there's a lot of either negative internal dialogue happening, or negative thinking, negative speaking, negative being happening, which creates disconnection within the self. And then, of course, there's disconnection with others if we're not going to communicate with our true, authentic self. Take off the masks, be brazen, live out loud, speak up, right? Be yourself. And sometimes, hello, me too, sometimes it takes practice. And sometimes we have to have refresher courses, if you will, in learning how to express ourselves in a way that is authentic to ourselves and yet is in a receptive manner that people are able to receive it, if that makes sense. Next, we have, I am a master at setting boundaries that protect my time, energy, creativity, and emotional well-being. And I don't remember at what point I said this, but I do recall somewhere at the beginning I had said how, making sure that we're not violating our own boundaries, and we're not violating other people's boundaries, and we're not letting them violate ours either. So I am a master at setting boundaries that protect my time, energy, creativity, and emotional well-being. And I would say also your spiritual self, your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, intuitive, psychic, however you want to say it. But yeah, I feel that is really a game changer for 2023. And then we have, I am patient with my needs, kind with my words, and respectful with my soft places. And I mean, again, guys, think about this. If we're not doing this for ourselves, then how are we expecting other people to treat us that way? Because they're going to treat us how we display, we expect, and we accept to be treated by how we treat ourselves. I mean, think about that for a minute. Are you showing people how to treat you that you really want to be treated? Or are you showing them what you don't want and then getting upset because they give you what you don't want? Sometimes, leaving behind things or leaving behind those people who we're no longer aligned to. It doesn't mean that they're bad people or we're better or anything like. It's just, they're just not aligned anymore. Okay, let's get, what else are we bringing in for 2023? What else are we bringing in for 2023? I was going to put those back, but I saw something in here that was something that that I had even mentioned. Yeah. All right. This one was wanting to come out too. We have reflect, which, I had just said how we, it's important to set up that time for us to be with ourselves. Reflect. Keep your eyes open. Joy lives in small places. Learning to enjoy those small things in life that work out for us. It's not always only about the big thing, but I also feel like this is very much so about spending time with the self. And she's got that butterfly on her head. Again, transformation. This is about changing up your beliefs into beliefs that are more aligned, that are updating and upgrading as you are updating and upgrading. Help. Ask for help. Receiving is an act of generosity. I would also say for those of you, if there is a struggle with the feminine energy, then I feel like learning how to ask for help and how to graciously accept the help, not begrudgingly, not resentfully, but graciously and thankfully and happily accepting help, is part of an exercise of learning how to be feminine, how to reacquaint ourselves with our feminine energy, and how to learning how to practice one of the many aspects of our femininity. Guidance. So we're getting help and we're getting guidance. Ask for help, ask for guidance. The divine will meet you your every need. I do feel like, yeah, we can say, hey, I don't know what to do with this. I'm asking you to send people or you know, animal guides or, you know, whatever that is for you towards me to give me the guidance. You know, I'm asking for that guidance because I'm really could use some of that and help me. Owls and cats energies to possibly look up if that's your thing. I would also say the lotus flower. I mean, we all have that association with the lotus flower, but I feel there's a lot more information around the lotus flower, and that if you look it up, the different energies of it, you may find something that would be very supportive and helpful for yourself. Dreams, think big. There are unseen forces ready to support your dreams, which we see throughout here. You know, when I just said how we've got, you know, angelic support here, we've got being in integrity, you've got the cherubs, you've got animal spirits, you've got your crown and your third eye opening up. Think big. Think outside the box. Go farther. I don't know where to put this. Time. Schedule a sacred date with yourself. You deserve time for your life. And I had said, setting time aside for yourself. Whatever that looks like. You know, whatever that looks like. Then that's what's for you. Okay. Last card. Here we go. What doors do we want to have open or be mindful of or invite to come in? I have these all upside down. For 2023. What are the doors for 2023? What are the doors for 2023? Oh, that's too many. That's too many. That's too many. Sorry. Nope, that's way too many. Let's get one or two more, but not a whole stack. Doors for 2023. One more. One more. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, that one's like really far. We'll have to see if that comes through. We do have birth on the bottom of the deck. All right, hold on here. Okay, I was afraid the microphone was going to fall off. Okay, so we do have birth on the bottom of the deck. Another gateway appears in view. New life is unfolding with blessings to you. Again, see, when we let go of the old, we make room for the new. When we let go of the old, we make room for the new. Secret sketches. Wander and seek the familiar and friendly kind. Draw memories and sketches for others to find. And to me, it's not necessarily about sketching. I mean, if you sketch, that's great. If you paint, if you draw, that's great. I would love to be able to do that in a way that people would really like my stuff. But I think, you know, the point and the gist of it is sharing ourselves in a way that it continues on well past us, if that makes sense. A cure for longing. Love is happiness, a spark inside. Live deliberately and choose boldly. Then you have arrived. Freedom flowers. Or I'm sorry, freedom flows. Don't hold yourself back from worldly freedom. Dream grand things for divine sacred reason. Again, there's that integrity again, right? Deeper. You are not finished. You are not yet done. Dig deeper and deeper. The best is yet to come. Hold on. Hold on. And the last one here, we have destiny. One door closes, another opens for you. Let the plans of destiny unravel true. And there you go, guys. That is what I have for you for now. And I hope you found this helpful. I hope it gave you a few ideas and sparked some growth, imagination, thought, possibly some ways in which you can change and shift things up for yourself. Until next time, thank you, guys.